What if the fastest woman in the world is not the one holding the title right now? Sha'Carri Richardson, Olympic silver medalist and 3-time World Championships gold medalist, recently said, "I have a feeling that it's going to be something legendary, not legendary just on the track, but legendary as the woman that I'm designed to be." And here is the thing, standing directly in her path to that legacy is a woman who ran faster than anyone in history thought possible, who won more titles in a single season than most sprinters win in a career, who, right now, is ranked #1 on the planet. Today, we are going to find out whether Sha'Carri Richardson can reclaim what she once had, or whether Melissa Jefferson-Wooden has already changed the sport forever. Picture two women, both American, both extraordinary, both capable of making a crowd of 80,000 people collectively hold their breath in the final 10 meters of a 100-meter race. For the past 3 years, Sha'Carri Richardson and Melissa Jefferson-Wooden have been the two defining figures of women's sprinting. They have raced each other 14 times across the 100 and 200 meters. They have won Olympic relay gold together. They have stood on the same podium and competed on the same tracks. And yet, every time they line up side by side, only one of them crosses the line first. The question the whole athletics world is asking right now is simple. Can Richardson turn the tide? And on the 4th of July, in Eugene, Oregon, we may finally get an answer. Have you ever watched the exact moment a career catches fire? It happened on a warm summer evening at Hayward Field, the University of Oregon's iconic stadium, home of the Prefontaine Classic, one of the most prestigious one-day athletics meetings on the planet. The year was 2025. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden stepped onto the track for the women's 100 meters, and when she crossed the finish line, something had changed permanently. She ran 10.75 seconds to win the 2025 Prefontaine Classic. That was the beginning. What followed was nothing short of extraordinary. A month later, Jefferson-Wooden returned to that very same track for the USA Track and Field Championships. She did not just repeat, she improved. Dramatically. She stopped the clock at 10.65 seconds, earning both the American national title and her place on Team USA for the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. And then came Japan. Think about what she achieved there for a moment. In a single World Championships, Jefferson-Wooden won gold in the women's 100 meters, then gold in the women's 200 meters, then gold in the women's 4x100 meter relay. That is the sprinting Triple Crown, one of the rarest accomplishments in the entire sport. It made her a 5-time world champion, adding to relay titles she had already claimed in Oregon in 2022 and Budapest in 2023. She did not stop there. At those same championships, she ran 10.61 seconds, making her the 4th fastest woman in history over 100 meters. Now, you might be wondering, where did this come from? Jefferson-Wooden, who studied at Coastal Carolina University, had always been talented. She had won Olympic relay gold at the Paris 2024 Games and a bronze in the individual 100 meters. But 2025 was the season where the talent became dominance. She ran under 70 seconds 3 separate times that year. She won the Diamond League in Eugene, then in Silesia, then in Brussels. World #1, by a considerable distance. But here is where the story gets more interesting, because there was another sprinter watching all of this unfold, one who had stood at the very top of this sport not long ago. And she had not forgotten what it felt like. Legendary. That is the word Sha'Carri Richardson used when she described what she believed 2026 could become for her, and she has earned the right to use it. Cast your mind back to 2023 and 2024. Richardson was the most electrifying figure in women's sprinting, perhaps in all of athletics. In those 2 seasons, she collected 5 Diamond League victories, a world title in the relay, and an Olympic silver medal in the individual 100 meters at Paris 2024. She ran with a combination of raw speed and fierce personality that captivated audiences worldwide and reminded everyone that sprinting, at its best, is pure theater. She and Jefferson-Wooden were not just rivals, they were teammates. At the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, the two ran alongside Twanisha Terry and Gabby Thomas to bring the United States the 4x100 relay gold medal. In 2025, they did it again at the World Championships. When they combine, Team USA becomes almost impossible to stop. But in individual competition, the dynamic has shifted. The two have met 14 times in the 100 and 200 meters since 2023. Jefferson-Wooden currently leads that head-to-head, with 3 Diamond League victories to Richardson's 2. Richardson won in Doha in 2023 and in Eugene in 2024, notably, in the very stadium where Jefferson-Wooden would later begin her rise. Then, Jefferson-Wooden responded with wins in Eugene, Silesia, and Brussels across the 2025 season. Whenever both women have entered a Diamond League race, one of the two has won it. No exceptions. So as Richardson begins her 2026 season, she opened her competitive year at Australia's Stowell Gift in early April, competing in the 120-meter handicap race. The whole athletics world is watching to see which version of her shows up. The Richardson of 2023, who ran like she had something to prove? Or a Richardson still searching for her sharpest form? Speaking ahead of this season, she was direct about her intentions. Her focus, she said, extended beyond times and titles. She was preparing as a complete athlete and as a person. The tone was calm, measured, and somehow that made it feel more serious. This is the part most people never talk about. The athletes who come back after a period of relative quiet are often the most dangerous, because they have had time to think about what went wrong, and they do not intend to let it happen again. Remember what we have covered so far: a reigning world champion at the absolute peak of her powers, a former champion with the motivation of someone who believes this is her legendary year, and one of the most famous athletics venues on the planet as the stage. This is where it all connects. On July 4th, 2026, Independence Day in the United States, the Prefontaine Classic will host the women's 100 meters at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon. Jefferson-Wooden will defend the very title that started her extraordinary run of dominance 12 months earlier. Richardson will be there, stepping onto the same track where she won in 2024, looking to restore the balance in their rivalry. The announcement came in April 2026, confirming Richardson's addition to a race that already had Jefferson-Wooden as the headline name. The moment it was confirmed, it became one of the most anticipated individual matchups in athletics this year. The Eugene meeting is the 9th leg of the 2026 Wonder Diamond League, the sport's premier one-day series, which spans 4 continents, 15 cities, and runs from Shanghai in May through to the series final in Brussels in September. The series gathers the greatest names in track and field in iconic venues around the world. But of all the stops on the calendar, this particular race on this particular day carries an extra charge. And there is already early evidence that the partnership between these two women remains as formidable as ever, even as their individual rivalry intensifies. On April 18th, just weeks before this script was written, Jefferson-Wooden and Richardson ran together as part of a Team USA 4x100 quartet at the Tom Jones Memorial Invitational in Gainesville, Florida. They clocked 41.70 seconds, the fastest relay time in the world this season, bettering even the Olympic gold medal time of 41.78 set in Paris. Jefferson-Wooden led off. Richardson anchored. Together, they are still the best relay pairing in the sport. Separately, on July 4th, only one of them will win. Fast forward to that finish line in Eugene, and the question that will define the women's sprint narrative of 2026 will have its answer. Has Jefferson-Wooden's dominance become the new permanent order? Or has Richardson been quietly preparing something that no one fully anticipated? Great rivalries do not just produce great races, they produce great athletes, because each pushes the other towards something they could not reach alone. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden is by every measurable standard the best women's sprinter on the planet right now. A Triple Crown world champion, the 4th fastest woman in history, the #1 ranked athlete in her event. She arrives in Eugene on July 4th as the defending champion, the title holder, and the favorite. And yet, sport has a habit of defying what the numbers suggest. Richardson has been here before. She knows what it feels like to stand at the top, and she knows what it feels like to watch someone else step into that space. What she does with that knowledge over the coming months of this 2026 season is the story worth following. As Richardson herself said ahead of this season, "I'm super excited to take on the challenge and stand firm in everything that I know I have been working on." That is not the statement of someone who has accepted a supporting role. That is the statement of someone who believes the story is not over. Whether she is right, we will find out in Eugene. If this video gave you a new appreciation for one of sport's most compelling rivalries, consider subscribing to the channel. There is a great deal more to explore, and the 2026 season is only just beginning.